So I'm Kerena Saltzman, and this is my friend and colleague, Jeanine Becker. And we met 2 years ago at the Wisdom 2.0 conference in the Bay Area. And I think there were about 500 people there. And I have this experience at these conferences. I come in and I see all these awesome people, and I also get shy and overwhelmed. And I'm wondering if anybody else has that experience of shy and overwhelmed. There's so many interesting people, but it's like, especially up here, they're all here. Mm-hmm. So when I got through the shy and overwhelmed part, and Jeanine and I met, we found that we had the same interest. I would call it almost a passion, or for me, more of an obsession, which was, how do we bring the qualities of presence and attunement and awareness into relationship? So into relationship with our husbands, into relationship with our colleagues, into relationships with our teams. And I am a psychotherapist through my work. And the last 6 months, we've spent studying a practice that involves this that we're going to introduce to you guys today. And we studied it at the Integral Institute in Boulder. So I'm excited to bring you a taste of this relational meditation practice.
Thanks, Kerena. And like she said, I share this real passion for bringing mindfulness to a relationship, but I come to it from a really different perspective. So I'm a trained corporate lawyer, most recently at Motorola and then at Google, and I've spent 7 years at Stanford teaching people negotiation. So really talking about, what do you do when you have power, when you're afraid, when you're confronted? And then more recently spent some time in India and deepening my own practice and coming back out and teaching and consulting around collaboration and leadership. And so for me, the focus has been, how do we, if I'm taking mindfulness into business, for me, that's often really about the quality of the attention we have when we're relating with each other. And thinking about, if I have that same open, compassionate awareness, seeing that as essential for my collaboration, essential for leadership, and potentially a catalyst for innovation and creativity. So we're going to be playing with that a little bit today. And want to talk, Soren said something last night at the event about relating with each other as less like strangers and more like community, more like a sangha. And that really, it resonated for me. I remember when that first Wisdom conference where Kerena and I met, it was the first place where I felt like the business side of me and sort of this personal growth and mindfulness side of me were really welcomed in the same space. And that really made a big impact. And so we know you've been listening for a while and you've been sitting for a while, so we want to give you a chance to actually get up and communicate a little bit with each other and get a sense of the community and the space that you're in. So we're going to play a little bit of a game called Anyone Else, where we'll give a phrase or a statement, and if it resonates for you, please just rise, get a chance to actually move a little bit.
Okay, so I'll start. You've researched the speakers, and you're primarily here for that reason.
Anybody else?
So just rise up if
that's true for you.
Come on, nobody?
Okay, so I'll say the other one then. You're excited about the speakers, but what has you really excited here is a chance to meet the participants and maybe collaborate with each other. Anybody else?
Great. Yeah.
Great.
So that's what we're here for, right? You could sit down. I'm not going to do the last one just because it's so clear.
Got it. So I think it's obvious that there's this desire to connect. There's also sort of, even from the hand raises at the beginning, some nervousness and some concern about it. When I think about bringing mindfulness into relationship, to me it's three things. It's, do I know what's true for me right now, and am I willing to share it in the moment? It's also, can I welcome and truly be curious about someone else in another perspective? And then the third part is, can I sit in uncertainty long enough to allow what's true to emerge? So we're going to give you a chance to practice those.
So everybody go ahead and stand up again, just all of you. So we're going to model an exercise for you between us, and we're going to be asking you to bounce your attention back and forth from us to your partner. And the quicker you can do that, the more efficiently this will go. I'm just asking for your help with that. Seeing if there's anything else we need to say about that. We'll go ahead and move into it. I would just ask you, I want to invite you to bring, if you have a practice, like a meditation practice or a yoga practice or something you do to bring yourself into your body and into your breath, do that during this exercise. So I'm going to ask for the slide. So, important first step in the exercise. You're going to determine who has the largest ears and who has the smallest ears. And you cannot do this now because you don't know who your partner is. So, my ears are bigger than Jeanine. So the small ear people are going to be asking the question. Did you guys get that? Small ear people are asking the question. Okay. And the question is, what am I most curious about? What I am most curious about right now is, and you're asking it what you're curious about the person standing with you, your partner, okay?
And so I can ask anything, but it has to be something that I actually genuinely feel curious about in the moment. So if you're actually curious about the work, that's great, but actually in the moment, what arises?
I'm scared. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm curious right now, how does it feel being up here and doing this with me?
Right now it feels really good. It feels like there's a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. So you see where we're going? This is the exercise. So we'll close at that, and I want you to pair with somebody close to you or next to you, and if you don't have a partner, raise your hand and we'll get you someone. And you can No, just pair with somebody who's close to you. Yeah. Grab a partner.
Grab a partner and raise your hand if you don't have a partner.
And you can begin. Yes. Oh.
So,
can you come through here?
And right here.
Bring your attention back up.
Attention back up for a second.
Small ear person. Is this really the question you're curious about? Or is there something that you're actually more curious about? Or you can also ask, what is it like to be with me right now? So you can continue. Okay.
All right, so the next part is to actually give some feedback. I think they've been really generous. The big-eared people were really generous in sharing something about their lives with us.
They were.
And this is our chance to actually give them an offering back.
Could we get the other slide?
There are two prompts from this. One is sort of when I felt you most, and the other is what I get about you is. So just to model that, I think while we cut ours short, and I felt you most was just sort of when you said you were nervous, and I could feel that energy in my own body. And what I get about you is this really matters. And doing this matters. And so we'll give you a minute or two for feedback.
We're going to switch roles now. So could we get the slide one back to the first one? So the large ear person, you are going to be asking your partner this question. So you can go ahead and begin.
So we're going to switch to the feedback round to actually have the person who was listening and asked the question actually be able to say, when I felt you most and what I get about you is, and make that offering back. So we'll give a minute for reflection.
You can begin. So I want to thank you guys for bringing yourselves and just your willingness to participate.
And we hope that, with this exercise, and you've seen a little bit just in these couple of minutes together, our hope for you is that the quality of attention that you've been cultivating in your practice on the cushion, on the mat, whatever your practice may be, can really be used to enrich your relating and your relationships here this weekend and out beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.